What up? Welcome to the channel. UFC Beefy Bets going to be recapping this not recapping, but giving our favorite bets and picks for this Taira
Previewing.
Perez. Yeah, previewing, betting preview for Taira Perez. I'm really crushing it on this intro.
Tyrez would be
Uh, uh,
fire.
we're a lot better at giving picks than we are at giving intros. So, without further ado, before I can stumble over my own words anymore, we can dive into it, brother. How you doing this evening?
I'm good, man, especially for the betting audience. I mean, if you followed us last week, we're green, baby, so we're all good. We're trying to repeat that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, we're green on the year. We had a good week last week. We kind of righted the ship. And this upcoming one, not a lot of values jumping out, but maybe we can find some here if we, power the minds together here and try to hunt down some value. If I'm not mistaken, the first fight, I guess we'll start the main event. Alex Perez versus Tatsuro Taira, kind of, veteran versus prospect matchup. Real interested to get your opinion on this here because obviously we're going to have Perez higher power rank just because the level of competition and things of that nature, but we're both very high on Taira. And so I'm kind of in a conundrum here where I don't really like either money line, but I'd be real interested to see what Taira by sub is because Perez's loss is arch of grapplers, and does get subbed. And I believe that Taira's grappling is top tier. He may not be the most experienced fighter, the most well-rounded fighter. If you go look at Alex Perez's topology, has some issues with grapplers. And guess what Taira's coming all the way from Japan to do? Grapple, buddy. You bet your ass. So, like I said, I have Perez just sticking to my power rankings. I have him as a one-star pick at plus 154 at what I was looking last night. But it's almost like I don't like laying the money on Taira money line. But if the Taira by sub pick or the number is high enough, I could be maybe convinced into sprinkling that.
It's plus 125 Tyra by sub. It's not enough for me to sprinkle, and here's why. I like the Tyra decision if I'm going to take a plussed up odds, which is plus 400. I still probably wouldn't take it because I think the fight goes under. But I'm just saying, like, if I was going to bet Taira, the only way is going to be him on the decision. But
I think that decision favors Perez, right? Like
and that's what I was going to say is I think Perez is semi-live in the fight, so I'm probably going to stay away from it altogether. I potentially could see myself putting Taira as a fourth or fifth leg on a parlay. I have him as a 2-star pick, so it's like week. This week, I mean, I'm reaching for value all over the place. I feel like because I feel like Vegas has it nailed down so well that I pretty much agree with him. Like, I had him at minus 180 going into this. He's minus 195 right now. I mean, it's almost like, it's the exact alignment.
Caveman breakdown. If Taira can get like a first or second round sub, I think that's his path to victory. I think Perez, like veteran savvy experience, 5-round experience, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for sure Perez 5-round experience. I worry about 4th and 5th rounds with Taira, so I love the under here. Which is odd for me to say, thinking that I would bet Taira by decision. But like I said, I wouldn't pick either guy to win. I would actually bet the under.
Yeah, this sounds like pick it how you want to on verdict. But as far as spending your hard-earned dough on this fight, yeah, I don't think we're feeling super bullish one way or the other. Which kind of points to great matchmaking, if we're being honest.
Yeah, absolutely good matchmaking here. And then also, you got to consider, man, the last Alex Perez we saw looked very good against Nicolau.
Exactly.
And then before that,
I was a Nicolau, like, dark horse wagoner. You know what I mean?
And before that, he fought Makayev and won a round off Makayev that we all agreed upon. I mean, 29-28. It was a great fight. And he defended so many takedowns in that fight. And here's where I get to the problem with Taira. Taira, excellent with submissions. I don't know he's going to take down Perez that easy.
Yeah, no, that's what this whole fight comes down to, and nobody has the answer to that. Not even, I don't think, the two combatants. Like, I think their first couple exchanges, like, I can't wait for the first round of this fight. But, yeah, can't wait to watch that one, not necessarily bet on it.
You know what?
Up next, we have
just before we keep it pushing, how many stars did you have on whoever you picked? And then also, the Perez by decision plus 450 is slightly juicy.
Actually is.
I'm actually going to put that in my notes just as like a
me too.
Outside sprinkle plus 450 Perez by decision. I
don't hate that. I think that's his path to victory. I don't. Yeah, I
I
think that's his
agree
path
because
to victory.
I think Taira's tough. I think he has plenty of chin, and I don't know that he's gonna. I don't know if they're gonna exchange that many punches. I think it's gonna be a lot of Taira working for takedowns. I think it's gonna be Perez defending a lot of takedowns.
Which he's capable of doing, man. Yeah, for sure,
100%.
brother. Yeah. So I had Perez 1 star, and last night it was plus 154. I don't know what it is right now.
You know what? I'm gonna change it to 1 star for mine on Taira. Um, I mean, I'm still gonna pick him to win the fight, but a bet, for instance, like in this case, like the bet for me is gonna be Perez by decision if I do end up betting this fight, just because that minus 195 on a 1 star, you'd never bet that, right? Um, as far as to answer your question, the current line sits at plus 165 for Perez on a straight.
Yeah, man. I don't hate Perez, man. The 5 round experience beating Nicolau, like I don't think a ton of people just are slam dunking that Taira's for sure better than Nicolau. I mean, Nicolau had a bad night at the office, but he's a damn good elite level flyweight. Perez is gone with nothing but elite level flyweights. And maybe Taira is an elite level flyweight, but banking that and laying the money as a favorite, don't know how anybody's feeling that confident on it.
I also think there's a lot to be said for jump in competition for Taira, as well
Yeah.
as when you just spoke about Taira's grappling, he can't strike worth a damn that we've seen. So as far as I'm concerned, like the one trick pony kind of gets stopped by the top tier guys. And as far as I saw Perez perform in his last fight, he's a top tier guy, and he's only 32 years old. So he's
Well, it's
right in the window to be his best.
It's like you don't think Nicolau has good jiu-jitsu? Like, you know what I'm saying? like
Right.
like yeah, I don't hate Perez as a dog here, although he is not my dog of the week. But yeah, for a fight, that neither of us are super bullish on, we spent plenty of time talking about it. Rightfully so. It's the main event. But yeah, it's basically, and then the questions you're asking, like Perez has struggled with grapplers, but also Taira's never been in a main event, never had a 5 round fight. So there's a ton of question marks here, which is why we're probably staying away from it as bettors. Up next in the co-main, we have an ungodly Bo Nickel level money line that I'm staying away from because I don't know. I looked into this Tricoli guy a little bit. I don't know anything about his skills, but he's 6'5", and all of his other fights have been at light heavyweight, so he's a big boy. Not saying that that's the end all be all, but I'm just saying it adds a little wrinkle. Because at first, when they're saying Alaskarov is fighting a debutante, eye roll. So you see the money line, eye roll. Just adding a little bit of somewhat intrigue. The guy's a big son bitch, to say the least.
I'll say this: Ikram TKO KO minus 140, Ikram submission plus 150.
Look up, or I guess I can look up. Has Jacoby lost fights by sub? That'll be interesting to check
Here,
out.
I got it right here. So he's 12-3 in his career. He has no submission losses, 2 decision losses, and 1 KO loss. Now that being said, now you're gonna find this very interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay, so 2016 has a loss to Diego Lima, like the Diego
Who's a
Lima.
smaller guy, right? He's like a welterweight, right?
Right, exactly. And then 2017, a year later, fights. Who is this? Okay, a guy we don't know, just a Ramos from Brazil, random Ramos. He gets TKO'd into the second round because he retired. He quit mid-fight, and now he's come back since. And he's had a draw and a submission choke win. And you know what's weird is he had a no contest on. It's not a draw. No, it's a no contest on the Contender Series. Then he got a submission win in Brazil Fight Series in his last fight, and now they just called him up. I'm pretty heavy on Alaskarov here. The under is minus 210.
By KO is the only way to bet it, in my opinion.
I agree with you. Is it even enough to put on the list though at minus 140?
I'm not feeling froggy to do like a method of victory parlay. I'm not
really
feeling
not
like
either.
laying the minus 140. So yeah, no, we can leave it off, brother. I did the math already on the difference. I had a 5-legger that was plus 302. We will get to. Alaskarov is the 6th leg, only jumps it to plus 335.
Jesus, so, he was worth $30 extra as literally like a times 15 multiplier, whatever it is. That's
because the money line. So yeah, it is insane. I just thought that'd be fun to talk about on the pod, but Yeah, at the very least, all we can hope for is that Tricoli's a big, scary son of a bitch, but I don't think it's going to matter. I have Alscara power ranked 12th in the world. So, like, this fight,
I,
and to everybody's credit, this was supposed to be Andre Muniz.
yes.
Andre Muniz pulled out, and that fight would have been good. That would have answered a couple of questions, or potentially, that would have been a real test for Ikram. But, there's been so many guys to pull out of the Ikram fight. Paulo Costa pulled out. I think there's been a couple others, so they just had to get somebody I could fog a mirror, as Chael would say, and get this guy a fight. But man, let's keep it pushing here. I can't believe the card placement on this one. Lucas
It's
Almeida
unbelievable to me, dude. Do they love Timothy Kwamba? Like, and why? He's minus 190, and Lucas Almeida is plus 165. But so good fight, but like, why is it here?
I think they are high on Kwamba. I remember after that fight, we were like saying nice things about Kwamba. But at the end of the day, he did lose to a low-level guy who was up a weight class, and he's a tough son of a bitch. It was a good fight. But I actually have Almeida 1-star here. It's plus 170. Almeida does have that Michael Trezano win, which, Trezano is no longer signed with the promotion, so I don't really know how that aged. But Kwamba is 0-1 in the UFC. He's a tough kid. Almeida's pretty tall for the weight class. I don't know. I'm probably going to stay away from this one. I think there's dogs I like more. Last night when I looked, Almeida was plus 170. What's he sitting at now?
So right now, plus 165.
So a few people felt the same way as me. Yeah, I don't know. Gun to my head, like on verdict, I'll pick Almeida. Probably not going to put real money on it. But I just don't like, an 0-1 guy, if we're talking UFC record, 0-1 guy.
Also, though, split decision in his debut. I mean, that's the best kind of 0-1 you could possibly be, in my opinion.
Up a weight class, but the thing is,
great point, but against Oki, which who the fuck is that?
I'm not ultra high on Oki. I'm not ultra high on Almeida either. That's why I'm probably not going to bet real money on this one. But we're giving picks here. I'm giving Almeida 1-star. I'll pick him on verdict. I don't have too much more to say. This is kind of. I don't want to say can on can because Kwamba has potential to not be a can, and Almeida probably is a can. Like I have this 63 versus 69 power rankings. So, yeah, that's why I arrive at 1-star Almeida.
For me, this is, and I'm going to echo exactly what you said in just different words, I guess, but I know where Almeida sits and it's very low. Kwamba, I can't put high because, the resume is a loss and I can only do so much with that. And as much as I liked it, he's still young as fuck, too. He's 25, 8-2 record. So I can't put any faith in him, and as much as I can't put any faith in Almeida. This is an actual no bet for me, which I guess would be a 1-star. And if I had to pick a winner, give me the vet, give me Almeida. Although I think we see a big improvement from Kwamba in his second fight, as we do typically see after a debut loses.
I'm trying to see here. Yeah, no, I have a couple over-under picks this week. This was not one of them, but I do predict that it probably. I don't know. See, with cans, it's hard to tell. This could go under or over.
Yes, the unpredictability of cans. I agree. Let's keep it pushing to fighters. Let's keep pushing though to fighters that we know pretty well, man. I mean, Douglas D. Silva de Andrade. That's a lot of Silvas and D's. Plus 110. Taking on Miles Johns, minus 130. I mean, these are guys we've probably broken down 5 times now each. Like in between.
Yeah.
In between it all, maybe close to 8 to 10 breakdowns here.
And veteran subscribers know that I am a D Silva mark.
Dude, I looked it up. This is going to be a wild callback. Episode 32 is when D Silva fought Leroy Murphy, and Leroy Murphy had a fire performance, and we were just ball-washing Leroy Murphy. But at the same time, we were talking about how good we thought D Silva was for, not having known about him. We were on point that night.
Was that a decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So D Silva to fight Leroy Murphy, who's now at top 13 featherweight. D Silva's a fucking dog. He's fighting up a weight class. I'm pretty sure it was short notice. And the only question here is age. I have D Silva power rank 29. I have John's power rank 43. The only question is age here, man. D Silva is 38 at bantamweight, and that is tough to put your money behind.
Bro, I'll be very honest with you. Is my knee-jerk reaction is I love D Silva, and then I literally started thinking he's gonna fall off at some point in this weight class. Man, I can't keep riding him, and it's I want to ride this horse.
Yeah,
but that's almost I feel like when I should get off. But maybe it's good for one more ride.
What's the money line at right now?
Plus 110 D Silva, Miles Johns minus 130.
I'll put it this way: right now, as unless you change my mind, my research last night led me to believe that this is my second place dog of the week. So I have one more dog that I like more than this one. But this is my second place dog of the week.
Okay,
Don't hate
fair.
it as a
How many stars would you put on that though? Because like I don't have a lot of faith in both of my dogs.
I have 2 stars. I have 2 stars.
All right.
And quite frankly, it was going to be 3. The age knocked off a star. Power ranking tier gap wise, it would have been 3. Because like I said, I'll repeat that. I have D Silva 29 and John's 43. That sounds like a 3-star. I just deducted a star from for age, 38 years old. So even all factors included, I have D Silva 2 stars. Which as a dog,
you know what? Hate. I love that case. If I'm a judge, fucking sentence to life in prison me riding D Silva. That's fucking.
Let's go.
Yeah,
take it in red.
Yeah, I'll take it 2 stars. Everything, because for me it was like really a no bet, but like a lean to D Silva because obviously I liked him at the rip. So it's like, yeah, if I got someone else to lean D Silva with me, let's just call him the winner.
Well, and I mean, this is caveman MMA math at its finest. But like, you think Miles Johns can go the distance to Leroy Murphy? I don't fucking think he could.
Yeah, no. Miles Johns gets finished by the second, like before the second round ends.
Yeah, and my dog D Silva went out there and gave him all he could handle, dog.
Well, D Silva's chin and grappling ability is going to be. You know what? I think he actually matches up well with Johns because if they're going to trade, he wins that. If they're going to grapple, he probably wins that too.
The only thing is if he hits like a Kovacevic level of just age fall off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and if Miles Johns fights like an incredibly pretty fight where he stays on the outside and picks him apart and moves for 15 minutes and won't let D Silva close. If he doesn't do that, he is in a world of trouble.
But even plus 110, Vegas is telling you it's a coin flip. I bet they feel the same way we do. I bet they like all their metrics indicate D Silva, but they're like, oh, he's 38. Like, you know, let's make it a coin flip.
And also when you're setting in the lines too, you got to think about as the line maker, like you're trying to make the money. So like you're going to encourage people to bet on the favorite, and they know Miles Johns. Like we just talked about, we have respect for D Silva. If I asked a regular motherfucker on the street, they probably might, on chance, out of 100 people, we'd get more people that knew Miles Johns than D Silva.
Oh yeah.
So like, so I'm just saying Vegas set it at 130 because they know they're going to get more bets on him, so they're trying to cover their own money. Like I think potentially this is actually a Douglas D Silva minus 120 by Vegas's like actual book, but then that's consider exactly money shift, and so they have to set it as him as a plus.
And age, you know, you throw that in as well. Yeah, no, I feel it, brother. This next fight, I'm excited to see Almabayev fight, man. Like, man, I'm a Almabayev ball washer. I have him power ranked super high. I'm a believer. Beautiful record. Kazakh guy. Vegas is all over him this week, too. He's fighting Jose Johnson. He's coming down from bantamweight, which I find weird. I think he might miss weight because he's a big bantamweight. He's 6 foot tall, dude. He's dropping down to flyweight.
Oh, I didn't know he's 6 foot. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare of a cut. I mean, Vegas knows it. There's no value to be had. What's this money line at? Last night it was minus 575 Almabayev.
It's still climbing, of course. Almabayev minus 650. Jose Johnson plus 425.
Gross.
But I will say, brother, let's hear me out. Almabayev submission minus 110. I can get down with that.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, I'm gonna Almabayev by sub. I'm gonna note that down. What'd you say the number was on that?
Minus 110, so even money.
Yeah, don't hate that at all. For sure, brother.
For me, there's no way Jose Johnson gets 3 rounds with Almabayev the way he fights, because Almabayev throws everything at you for the first 8 minutes, and then it's just kind of like, I mean, he survived in his fight against who was it? He fought a killer. It was Umar, right?
I think that's a different Kazakh guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Hold on, I got it right here. I feel like Almabayev has fought killers. Oh, he is a flyweight. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so his win over O'Day Osborne. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah,
when he showed up and murked him. He showed up and murked him.
Notice, I believe,
and then beat Vergara in decision. And I remember that fight. Vergara was just tough. Like, that wasn't Almabayev looking bad. However, he did slow down in the 3rd round. That's what I'm remembering.
Yeah, but Jose Johnson, man, he's a huge bantamweight cutting down to flyweight. I think it's going to be a size disadvantage. I don't think that this.
I also would argue that 8-inch reach is like not going to help you against a guy that wants to take you down and get body locks.
Yeah, especially like what's Jose Johnson's gas tank going to look like when he looks like, in the words of Coach Greg Nation, from Arkansas, it looked like death eating a cracker, son.
Well, and it's like Almabayev, man. 19 wins in his career, 7 decisions. No, yeah, 7 decisions, 3 KOs, and 9 subs. So more than likely he gets a sub if he's going to win. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, and that's his path to victory too, right? Keep it close, take him down. Like, you don't want to be on the outside kickboxing with a 6 foot tall guy.
Absolutely, and he has a UFC sub over an opponent that I think is better, but is also same stylistically. Ode Osborne, not a good grappler, very much a good striker, kind of longer for the weight class. Well, guess what?
Yeah,
he got
you're
subbed.
not wrong. Yeah. I do not. I like that you brought that -110 to the table. That will be in consideration when we're talking about props later in the episode.
As well, I guess I would put Almabayev as. I've teetered back and forth between like 1-star or 5-star because if I'm saying like, see, 3 is like. I feel like 3 isn't fair though because my confidence in him to win is like it couldn't be higher, but my confidence in betting that number couldn't be lower. So I see where that's
we've always approached it differently. I make my stars and then I look before I even look at the number. I purposely avoid letting the number influence my stars. So I have a 3 stars only because the size 1 in like 10 chance at the size. Like, what if Jose Johnson actually does pull off this miraculous weight cut, is in there feeling good, just massive as fuck? Like, it's an outside chance, but like, it was enough to knock a star off for me. And then, just the size X factor. Like, I think it's going to be a bad weight cut. I think it's going to be a nightmare for Jose Johnson. He's going to look like death eating a cracker, like I said. But on the off chance that he pulls it off and puts the weight back on and is feeling froggy and is feeling good, he's going to be a huge, huge flyweight in there.
Yeah, I guess you know what? I'll say 3 stars on Almabayev by sub. Like, I'll be that brazen. I think that's that likely. Because I just think it's his only path to victory, but I like him to win so much that I'd be okay to say that. So I'll write 3 stars with you, but I'll be even more specific.
And I'll ride that with you as well. That makes a lot of sense in my book. Now, up next, one of my sleeper picks. I think it's the Parlay Saver. It's the only way to get any value on this whole card. My boy Garrett Armfield, man. High stand. Going to get fraud checked. I'm all over Armfield here. 4 stars.
Damn, that's crazy. Now, okay, nice. I had Armfield as a 4-star as well. I wondered if I was crazy about that.
Makes me wonder if I'm crazy. Tapology has these guys power ranked one place apart.
Very
different.
I couldn't agree less.
My power rankings have it probably much like yours. I have Armfield 34, which at bantamweight 34 ain't bad, and then I have High Stand at 59.
As far as I'm concerned, High Stand is like a grinder that's gonna like almost koozie tier his way in and stay in the UFC that way. Whereas I feel like Armfield is a good mid-level competitor. And that's just because they're bantamweights, right? If they were light heavyweights, Armfield would be a fucking top 15 and Brady Highstand would be mid-level. But at bantamweight, it's so fucking deep that Highstand's a koozie, and I think Armfield is a legit like guy in the weight. So not top 15, but top 30. And so when you take that into consideration, it's like, or maybe top 30, could be.
I have him at 34. I have him at 34. Point well taken.
Right. But like, yeah, the point stands that if I'm going to get those odds on a guy that I think is for sure UFC caliber fighting a koozie, so a guy that questionably, and for anyone that doesn't know, a koozie is a guy that loses to UFC caliber fighters but beats newcomers. He is the gatekeeper into the UFC's like multiple contract division, if you want to call it that. Meaning that you're going to sign a second or third contract. All that being said, -185 on that matchup.
The number went down. Sick. Last night it was -192. I'm all over it. As a parlay builder, that's how you can put some of those bigger money lines if you have a -185. It balances out the parlay. Like, I'm all over it. I might straight bet it and parlay it. I mean, it wouldn't be. I'm not Mr. Moneybags for -185 straight bets, but it feels like throwing a little 10 spot on it might not be the worst idea. and I like him in a parlay. Like we both have him 4 stars. Like dare I say, lock of the week, Garrett Armfield.
Yeah, no, it's probably my favorite pick for the value of the entire week. I think
Probably
that
my
would
number
be.
one favorite.
You know what? I would say that, but I kind of like. Let's get to the next fight because I almost like the value on the next fight more.
Ooh, can't wait to discuss this one. Yeah, I've been dying to hear how you feel about this one. We have Ulanbekov and Joshua Van. Great fight, great matchmaking. We're both high on Van, but Ulanbekov, tough as an old leather boot, just kind of a mainstay of the division. I have Ulanbekov power rank 10. I have Joshua Van power rank 19. Last night the money line was at minus 230. What's Ulanbekov sitting at now?
Minus 225, Joshua Van plus 185.
Ooh,
Let me tell you why I like Joshua Van here.
don't want to hear it, but okay.
All right, just hear me out. Hear me out. If we're going by like how they each fight, Ulanbekov is, I would say, pretty good on the feet. Like he's not terrible. He does okay. But he's way better whenever you respect the fact that he's going to shoot a takedown, he's going to get a takedown, and you have to defend just the extreme grappling onslaught of Tagir Ulanbekov.
Dagestani. He's Dagestani. We already know.
He also, in this case, is a southpaw, so leads a different foot and leg, which like can be very difficult whenever you're matching lead legs, because it's like if you're a wrestler, if I can match your lead leg, that means I can shoot way easier because you always shoot over your lead leg as a wrestler. If your lead leg is closer to my lead leg, ipso facto, we're closer. So that favors Ulanbekov. He also has a 5-inch reach advantage, so that favors Ulanbekov. But let me tell you why I like Josh Van, right? I mean, he won against Jaga Zumagulov in a split decision in his debut.
But that's such a different level, bro. I
agree.
Out, but that's
I agree.
like,
the levels are different.
Like 50 tiers.
I agree. The levels are different. That's a year ago for Joshua Van in his UFC debut, right? And Emmett Topuria, which
Van's like 22 years old. He's so young.
I know, and so I'm saying for him to live up to the hype and fight a guy outside of his own style and skill set and win the split. And, I mean, the Kevin Borjas decision isn't great. Not going to lie, because we just think Borjas kind of a can-tier guy. And then the Bunez win, like, Bunez can, but he did finish him and look great in that fight.
I just think Ulanbekov's such a higher level, bro.
I agree.
You know what? The past couple of weeks, you've talked me out of some things. Like, let me be a friend, tell a friend here. Like, please, don't let the value monster get in your ear on this one. Like, I think this is too much too soon for Joshua Van. I'm a Joshua Van guy. I was actually kind of salty when I saw that this fight was made because I'm like, fuck, like, this is gonna fucking kill the hype train on Joshua Van. Like, it ain't like he's this ain't Tim Elliott where you're gonna, you know what I mean? This ain't some guy with holes in his game.
That's funny that you'd say Tim Elliott because guess who has lost Tim Elliott? Ulanbekov.
Yes, but
it's recent. It's 2 years ago.
I know, you mean when Josh Van was 18 years old? Yeah, bro, it's just too much too soon. I think it's too much too soon. We're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. I got Ulanbekov 2 stars, and I actually kind of want to throw him on my parlay because at minus 225, that's not a number that's gonna fuck up a parlay. I think it's too soon for Josh Van, bro.
Let me make one more argument for you, is that Caesars opened the line at Ulanbekov minus 170, Joshua Van plus 140. So people have bet this line to what it is, but Vegas thinks it's a much closer fight than the line represents, which I also believe.
Yeah, all right. Well, we talked. Well, first off, Ulanbekov, 15-2, no slouch. Only 32 years old, 5'7", pretty big for the weight class. Tapology has him at the 11th base flyweight. Said I have him at 10, basically lockstep. 4-1 in the UFC. Only lost, like you said, Tim Elliott. But since then, beat Cody Durden, beat Nate Maness, beat Alan Nascimento. Nascimento's fucking good. He's underrated. He's the guy that's not talked about enough.
I would take the Jaga Zumagulov win over any win that he has in the UFC.
You're wild, and Dana White disagrees because Zumagulov was a cut fucking 2 years ago.
Retired.
More to the point, and Van probably retired him. He posed.
He had 3 losses in his career. He was like 20-3. Zumagulov was.
The Nascimento win's going to age well. Nascimento hasn't been super active, but I like Nascimento a lot. Nate Maness, I mean, I don't think he's a bad fighter. I think
He's
I
minus
think Nate
500
Maness,
against Jimmy Flick. Jimmy Flick's terrible. Like,
minus 500. Like, I don't understand. Is that supposed to be some knock?
no, I'm saying if he was like if he was top 25, top 20, that's like minus 1200. You see what I'm saying? Like he's minus 500 against one of the worst guys in the weight class. Like that's pretty standard.
I think that's just like a moot point. Like I don't know what that really adds to this. But like even Cody, all right, Cody Durden. Where do I have Cody Durden power rank? He's not a world beater, but he's also no. So I have him at 16. Like Cody Durden is better than anybody that Joshua Van has beat. And it's not a sexy name. Nobody likes Cody Durden. Nobody's out there buying Cody Durden merch. But it's not like Cody Durden's no fucking slouch. Like he's much better than anybody that Van has beat. And I know MMA math isn't end all be all. I don't know. Agree to disagree on this one. I like Ulanbekov to the point where I might have him on my parlay.
Yeah, I mean, Ulanbekov,
and I'm a Joshua Van fan. Like, I like Joshua Van.
You know what's even funnier is Ulanbekov's other loss is to Zumagulov.
Yeah, and so I just think
this fight, if you're not betting the dog, the value at minus 225 is not justifiable for how close it is.
All right, you know what? Then we'll split the difference. I'll drop a star off Ulanbekov and probably not put him on my parlay. I'm gonna be bummed out about it though when that cashes, because bro, I think that this fight takes place 2 years from now. Maybe it's a different conversation. 3 years from now. I just think it's too much. I know that's not like a scientific argument, but like I just think it's too much too soon. Like I really do feel that way. And like I said, I'm a Joshua Van fan. I was mad when this saw the matchmaking here. Like now on the flip side, if Joshua Van gets this win, then god damn it, like up and away, as in the words of the great Scott Mescudi. But like
shout out Kid Cudi.
Bro, I think in my heart of hearts, I feel like it's too much too soon. And I know that's not the most scientific breakdown, but we both laid out a good argument here.
In my opinion, I'm actually in lockstep with Vegas, which is that I believe plus 140, plus 130 is the right number. So that's why I'm on the Van 1 star, is that plus 185 is just, if I'm going to do the Billy Walters betting my values, I would have to ride Van here because Ulanbekov number is too big to bet. It's too dangerous.
I think maybe this is a no bet thing. So you talked me down to Ulanbekov 1 star, which we don't really bet 1 stars around here, begrudgingly, at least at how I'm feeling right now. But like I said, we do this for a reason. Our minds are better when we're put together, and we talk each other out of bad ideas. So I'm listening to my good friend Harrison here, man. Let's keep it pushing. That was some good slaughter.
Now, unfortunately, it's not out yet. But when the over does come out for that fight, I do love the over in that fight.
Let's see if I have it here. I do not have it. I think DraftKings has the over-unders. Let me look real quick.
Because
I saw it last night. Let's see here.
Because I think they're close enough in skill level where they push each other to the distance.
Over 2.5 is minus 125.
I do like that. If I'm going to bet this fight, down. I would bet that. That's a better value than either side, in my opinion.
That was
over
minus 125.
Yeah. Over 2.5 minus 125.
Okay, yeah, I don't hate that either. Especially since we're debating who wins. The over, they're flyweights, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I think Van's skill set is underrated because of the competition he's performed against. But if you consider his takedown defense against Zumagulov and how young he was, I don't think his takedown defense is getting worse. And that's why I think that Ulanbekov is going to struggle in this fight. Granted, he could win, but I don't think he subs him or has an easy time with it.
Oh no, I think it's a snoozy decision. But that's my worry. I think Ulanbekov has enough veteran savvy, can get him on the cage. He's fighting a striker. I just think he can kind of ugly it up enough. So,
See, I like your logic there. I would just say that minus 225 is a little risky for that style of logic.
That's why, that's why we talk about, because like you said, I talked that from 2 star to 1 star, where my Ulanbekov pick probably hits on verdict, at least according to me. But you know what I'm saying? You talked me out of getting bad value as a bettor, which that's what friends are for, baby.
And I like Van as my dog of the week, but I probably won't bet him after having talked about it and seeing some of the other value. Like D Silva's a better value.
Reed, and I also have one more that I'm going to try to talk you into, but we can keep it pushing here. We talked about him earlier in part of our flyweight breakdown. Nate Maness, Jimmy Flick at 125. What's this number? Last night it was minus 470 Maness. God damn it.
So Maness minus 500, Jimmy Flick plus 350. I guess my whole point with bringing that up earlier was that, like, look who they're matchmaking Maness against. Like, they want him to have a job in the UFC, but he can't beat anyone else they match him up against.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I go that far, man. The only thing keeping this, I have Maness 5 stars here. I have Maness power rank 22, Flick power rank 40, but flyweight doesn't have a ton of bodies. 40 definitely chance here at flyweight. Maness does have a guillotine loss on his record, and we know all Flick can do is throw up submissions. That's the only thing that kept it from being a 5-star. 4-star Nate Maness by that logic.
The guillotine
was unbettable now. Unbettable now at minus 500 though.
The guillotine was by Ulanbekov. You know
that fucking stinks.
You know what's funny?
I'm being an asshole. I'm being an asshole.
I got. No, you know what's weird though is that in 2019, Maness fought Lapilus and got knocked out by him. That was his only loss before the UFC. Which actually Cyril Gahn fought on that card. Holy shit.
Wow, what a card.
Yeah, insane. In 2019,
in France. Some guy probably made $15 to get in the door.
Saw 3 UFC fighters, had no idea. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, so, you know, UFC debut, beats Johnny Munoz. This is in 2020, by the way. Beats Johnny Munoz. Next fight, subs.
That aged decently.
Yeah, subs Luke Sanders 3 months later, which I like the activity there. Then takes a year off and beats a 36-year-old Tony Gravely. So 3-0 in the UFC, decision, sub, KO. It's a pretty solid record. Also not, like, the best fighters. Then they actually, like, gave him a real test, right? Umar Nurmagomedov. Went to decision with him, which I actually liked that.
Know.
And that was
that ages well.
Super well. And that was on the Saruki and Gamrot card, so a lot of people saw that because that was a good card. Then he tried his luck 5 months later against Ulanbekov, got subbed going in for the takedown, but you know, he gets subbed on a guillotine. I'm not holding it against you the worst. And then he beats Mateus Mendonça by KO in his last fight. Yeah, my problem with liking Nate Maness is that his wins, I can't find a win that I care about, but I see good losses. So that's where I'm
but Jimmy Flick's a can. So like,
I agree. And I'm just saying minus
500. Sorry, I hate saying that. Shout
out. No, he is though, man.
What the fuck am I supposed to? What do you want me to do, man? You want me to have integrity? You just want me to ball wash guys from the same fucking state as me? Like I don't know what you want me to do.
I could see the Maness. I could see the Maness TKO here, and I think you might get good value on that.
What's the number? Is it out? Probably not out yet.
Not out for me. It might be on DraftKings if you have it up still.
Yeah, because I have Maness by KO, like exclamation point. Like I was curious about that one.
Yeah, simply because Jimmy Flick's they're gonna get into a grappling war. Maness will have top position, and then I could just see him just holding a wrist and pummeling down right hands on Jimmy Flick's face till the ref stops it. Like just some super elementary bullshit.
Are you on best fight odds? Is that what you're on?
Yes, yeah.
And they don't got props yet?
Nah, unfortunately not.
Yeah, motherfucker. Dude, I'm curious, though. If I fucking get to the betting kiosk on Thursday afternoon and there's a number I like on Maness by KO,
yeah,
do a little sprinkle.
Yeah, don't hold back for me either. You know, I'll send you an extra 5 anytime. That said, I guess officially I would put Maness as a 4-star.
4-star, yeah, me
okay.
too.
Nice. And that's just because, like, I don't see a path to victory for Jimmy Flick because since Maness has already made the mistake of shooting a bad takedown and getting caught in a guillotine, I don't see him doing that again, and that was really Jimmy Flick's only path to victory in my mind. So a guy already having lost by that very recently isn't going to allow that to happen again very quickly.
And Maness is big for the weight class, too.
And he's not a moron when he fights. Like, he actually fights with solid IQ. So
he's good.
Give me Maness to defend the bullshit Flick throws at him and to TKO. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever the TKO number is.
Me too.
If it's under minus 150, Fucking give it to me.
Send it. Fucking send it, boys. Yeah, for sure. Man, up next we got a kind of a nothing burger of a fight, if I'm being honest. I mean, I don't really know I mean, it's kind of a pointless welterweight fight. Adam Fugit, Josh Quinlan. I think Quinlan's a can. I don't really have an opinion on Fugit, but I'm pretty sure Quinlan's a can. Fugit last night it was at plus 105. I don't hate it. I'm going Fugit 1 star.
Yeah,
What's the number?
So Josh Quinlan minus 105. I should call him Canlon. Minus 125, and then Adam Fugit plus. The fuck is that? Oh, never mind. Adam Fugit plus 105. Sorry, I thought ESPN was trying to get free promo on our channel again. They those motherfuckers, man. Anyway, Fugit plus 105. I like Fugit here 2 stars, and that's because I simply think that Quinlan is a can. I mean, 6-2. This is the guy that we notoriously broke down for his first fight in the UFC. I was like, this guy's fresh off the juice, fresh the fuck off, like within 4 months of the juice. Bet on him, and then we're gonna fade him the rest of his career. Well, guess what? We've ran it correct every single fight with Quinlan to this point. We're 100% on him, and I think we're right here again.
See, I'm in on the Quinlan fade. I just don't know if I'm in on believing in Fugit.
Fugit's got power. Fugit's got power. I've seen it once.
You get 1 star. And I don't like. So, do you like him? This is the real question. You got to have your come to Jesus moment, son. You like him more than D Silva? Is really what it comes down to, right? At least as of now, for the dog debate.
I probably like D Silva more because of paths to victory, if that makes sense. Like, I can see D Silva winning any of the 3 ways that are the paths, right? Whereas I only see Fugit really winning the KO TKO.
Okay,
I can see the decision, but I think both guys are so bad that they won't make the decision.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
What's the under on this one? I gotta
still not out. These fucking bullshit early prelims get hated on
also,
so hard.
The Silva de Andrade John's under 2.5 was at plus 40 last night. Don't hate that. Armfield high stand under 2.5 is at plus 140. Don't hate that. Here's some notes I took last night. I forgot to get to them. Yeah. And do you have Taira by sub in front of you? Did we have a number on that?
Yeah, plus 125.
Plus 125. And all right. And
I'm sorry. Minus 125.
Minus 125, which we didn't love. All right. Cool. Sorry, I had some notes I forgot to bring to the table. And any of those that you liked, Silva de Andrade Johnson under 2.5 plus 140, and Armfield high stand under 2.5 plus 140. How you feeling about those?
If you're forcing me to take one, it's going to be the Armfield high stand, because I think high stand breaks by 8 minutes after he realizes his strategy won't work, and then I think it's just a matter of time before he gets finished.
Fair enough, brother. I appreciate your input on that. I was kind of going back and forth. Yeah, man. All right, who's up next? We got Gabriela Fernandez and somebody Judas. I didn't write her first name. So
Carly Judas plus 130. Judas, not spelled Judas, just for the people at home thinking that, you Bible lovers. Fighting Gabriela Fernandez minus 155. Man,
no bet,
100%, 100%.
It's like there's a debut. Fernandez is firmly entrenched in the can tier, so we got debut on can. I've learned my lesson. Never betting these fights again. Ever.
Can I offer one more insight though that might make this?
You, good sir, can go fuck yourself. But no, drop it on the pod. Let's get this content in, baby.
So Carly Judas 3-1. Her one loss came last year in her Contender Series fight against Carrick.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I don't know how the fuck she got this opportunity. Who her manager knows.
I almost feel like Gabriela Fernandez minus 155 would be stealing. However, she's lost to Jasmine Jasdovic is not the worst, but Teresa Bleda immediately after, 4 months after. I don't love that, and now it's taking a year off. This is a no bet. I mean, this is a classic no bet.
Classic no bet. There's like 80 reasons not to bet this fight, including you're not getting crazy value. Oh, you're going to bet on the 3-1 chick? that has a loss on Dana White Contender Series, cool, you're getting plus 130. At least it was plus 130 last night. Like, that's not enough value to make you, like, pull the trigger.
Guess what? The odds
because nobody's betting this fight. Nobody.
Yep.
No fucking
Damn,
buddy.
you figured it
When
out
two
before I
brain
even
cells
got
are
it
read
out.
together.
Nice.
No. This is no bet city. Let's keep it pushing. Because actually, this next fight, I think value is a strong word, and the line's probably moved, but
value is a strong word. Jekasaragi minus 380, Weston Wilson plus 280.
All right, so I'm not out on Sergey on the parlay. The fact that it's still under the 400 number, the fact that Weston Wilson is on the anti-pound for pound GOAT list. I could not be more out. Like I have in the Marnik Man tier. Like I could not be more out on a guy. And I'm not super in on Sergey, but let's give a little quick power rankings breakdown. Sergey 64, no world beater, right? Weston Wilson at 80. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than Weston Wilson, and I'm willing to fade. I think I'm going Sergey parlay. I can see your face. This is what I might have to be stubborn on. I'm going Sergey 3 stars here, minus 380, 3 stars. So facto parlay.
Oh man, once again, it's another fight where the line just I can't take
Sergey
it.
gets KO'd. Weston Wilson gets KO'd.
He gets KO'd by Joaquim Silva and Joe Anderson Brito. I'm not even mad about either of those.
No, but I remember those KOs. They were chinny KOs. They weren't
No, the Silva one was not. The Brito one was. The Silva one, he got beat around the octagon for 3 minutes. Now it was bad, but for different reasons. It wasn't chinny. It was holy shit, you're still getting hit.
Which one came first?
The chinny one came first, and then the non-chinny came second.
All right, fair enough.
And what's Sergey's path to victory? His loss to Anshul Jubli?
No, that's horrible. But he rebounded with the knockout, and
who?
Over a guy about the level of Weston Wilson. Don't talk about who, wherever the opponent's Weston Wilson. Don't give me that.
I agree.
I'm fucking puffing my chest out on this one. It's the ultimate Weston Wilson fade, bro. Weston Wilson, is not beating Jekasaragi. I don't think so, bro. I'm so in. This is fade. I don't even want to hear Jekasaragi arguments.
No, it's
all about anybody on the roster would do this to Weston Wilson.
No, it's I have Sergey as 2 stars, but just minus 380 is it's so hard to find real worth in that.
Also, though, when we're hunting up for the parlay here in a couple of minutes, and we're going to be trying to build a parlay, I think the tune's going to change.
That's what I mean, though, is what am I going to get this week? A minus or a plus 190 4-leg parlay? God damn it.
Probably. Yes, sir. Yes, yeah. No, it doesn't suck because we cashed a very similar one last week, baby. Let's put 3 units on it and ride the conservative parlay, bro.
Yeah, you're right. If I just ride my units. Yep. All right. I'm back in.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Still 2 stars, but I'm back in.
Be stubborn to leave it at 3 stars. Either way, I think it ends up on the parlay. I think in 15 minutes, and we're sampling the parlay, I think we're going to be hard pressed to not have Sergey
I'm not saying I won't put a 2 star on the parlay. I'm just saying I'm not going to change the scale because this week is bad. But if the week is bad, I will take lesser scaled things. Okay,
that's all fair. Like I said, I have Weston Wilson as as fadeable gets. Marnik Man level fadeable.
We already see the fight slightly different, so I'm not even mad about that.
One quick last analogy: if you could fade if you could fade Marnik Man for minus 380, basically, right? But if you could fade Marnik Man for minus 380, I know you would.
It's on the line. It's literally on the line. Minus 350, minus 400 is the bouncing line. So literally, we're on the line right now.
All right. Whenever you said minus 380, I did one of these little Tiger Wood numbers because I was
inside it was 400.
Yeah, no, if it was minus 425,
I get it. If it's a 4-leg, I'll throw it. If it's my 3rd leg, it's not worth it.
We're gonna be diving for 4 legs because you made me. I had a 4-leg and you made me delete one of my legs. Not made me, but it wisely informed me.
Listen, so you're welcome. It depends on the 2 legs, of course. But if I'm getting plus 180, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to find something else.
For sure, brother. For sure, brother. Man, up next, Josephine Knutson taking on somebody Pilastri. Um, Knutson last night was minus 205. I don't really have a money line pick on
She's
this.
currently minus 190.
Minus 190 on Knutson. This Pilastri girl has a couple sub wins, though, which is interesting. Knutson's undefeated, but probably has a face to grapple with the level of Pilastri. Pilastri is making her debut, though, so not basing that on a whole lot. Definition of a no bet for me. However, at least as of last night, the under on this one is 2.5 under 2.5 at plus 250. Now, the number, this is value monsters, value gremlins in my ear. Like I said, Pilastri has some sub wins. I think there's a path to victory there by sub, which makes the under a little interesting. And then Knutson, like known as a good striker, taking on the debut girl, maybe gets right. I don't think that's kind of unlikely. Like I said, that's probably value gremlins in my ear, but I thought the under at 2.5 at plus 250 was kind of worth bringing to the conversation table. Not necessarily saying it's a lock or anything, but I kind of wanted to get your opinion on that. But like I said, no bet on the money line.
So I'll say it this way: Pilastri has 15 fights in her career, and 8 have gone to decision. Knutson has
Not
7.
bad for women's though.
It's not bad. Knutson has 7 fights in her career, and all 7 have gone to decision.
That's what I'm saying though. Maybe she
And
hasn't faced like a true like
Pilastri,
dog. Like maybe she's been fighting nothing but like pins and inexperienced girls. Like I think Pilastri has a little experience. I mean, it sounds like I'm riding Pilastri. I'm really not. I'm just saying that like that's what makes the under 2.5 at plus 250 interesting. I don't know if Knutson's faced this level of grappler. I don't know.
Pilastri also has a loss to Jazz Devicious 30-27 in her Dana White Contender Series attempt
but that's
in 2021. So
that's aged pretty goddamn good though, right? Like Knutson's never even fought anybody.
Here's what I would say more than that is that if Jazz Devicious hadn't had as good of a career, Pilastri wouldn't be here. That's how well it's aged.
Yeah, it's aged like a guy. I'm not like saying Jazz Devicious is a world beater, but she's firmly UFC caliber. Like I don't think anybody's debating that.
But
and like Knutson hasn't fought any fucking buddy. But like I said, this is a no bet for me. I picked Knutson by decision. 100 units on verdict, like I mean 100 XP, not units, like betting units. But like this fight, no, I'm not bullish on it. I'm just saying the under 2.5 was worth mentioning at plus 250, just because all the reasons I said I don't want to beat a dead horse. All the reasons I listed. It sounds like you're not really in. I think there's other props we like more.
It's for sure no bet. If I was going to take anyone, it's Knutson 1-star. I just like her gym so much more. All Stars MMA. It's a great gym, so I'll take it versus CWB Fighter in Brazil.
I CWB Fighter producing them dogs. Boy, no, just playing. But man, all right. Actually, this next fight is actually kind of worth talking about, in my opinion. Here,
final fight.
I'm 2 stars on Nerd and Becky, and at plus 164. Drum roll, please. At least he was plus 164 last night. My dog of the week, man. I have Nerd and Becky power ranked 52, so I'm not like all in on him. But like Makizio Costa, I'm pretty sure is a cam, bro. I have him at 62. Nerd and Becky, not a world beater, but I'm for sure pretty much out on Costa. You combine those things together. I have it as only a 2-star pick, but if you're giving me plus 164 on a 2-star, I'm going to take it. 10 ranking gap on my power rankings, 2 stars. What's the number officially at?
So Melchizedek Acosta minus 195, Charlotte Nerdembeke plus 165. I also like Nerdembeke here.
Bro, that's my dog of the week.
And I think he's a much more complete fighter, and I think he's a much smarter fighter. I think that's going to be huge here. Costa's talented, but he's an idiot. Costa's an idiot when he fights.
Yeah, and I don't think he's necessarily athletic. Like, Nordembecke's fucking jacked. He's like I mean, debatably natty. You know, I'm not necessarily sold. He has a crazy physique.
I mean, wins over like Derek Minner, TJ Brown, Sean Soriano, decision loss to Culibao. Like, I mean, if it wasn't for the loss to Steve Garcia, like, he probably wouldn't even be having to fight this fight.
Garcia is not terrible. And then who? Let's look up.
Bro, Melquizael Costa's last loss was a KO to Steve Garcia, whereas Charles Nerdembeke lost in a decision.
That's what I'm talking about. And then the Thiago Moises loss, like at the time, we're like, oh, that's a good loss. That's aging poorly. Like I talked about on last week's episode how I'm dropped Moises hella in my power rankings, and I'm basically out on him.
And then that's also obviously up a weight class, so Costa didn't have to make his same cut. And I think that cut kills him because against Austin Lingo was a decision. He didn't look great, and Lingo is not a UFC caliber fighter.
Lingo's cut and has been out of the promotion for at least a year now. Yeah, bro. I like Nerdembeke 2 stars. I just think he's a better athlete. I think he's just has a better resume. I mean, more experience. I like Nordembeke in this one. It's my dog of the week, especially the value. I can't imagine. Yeah, Nordembeke 39-11, so so much experience. He's only 30. He's fucking jacked. He's got power. Melquizael Costa, like we said, got so Becky got finished by Steve Garcia as well. But before that, he won by finish. I think he's a nastier fighter, man. I think he's experienced. I think he's nasty. I think he's fucking jocked. Yeah, nasty dude. I like him as my dog of the week here. So it sounds like we both do, especially at that number.
Yeah, the official dog for me would be Nerdembeke at plus 165, just because I have D Silva plus 110 as well. But it's like if I'm going to get $55 more for the same level of confidence, I'm obviously going to take that.
Well, especially if our parlay is weak, which it's looking weak as we sit right now. I might go 2 units Nerdembeke straight, 1 unit D Silva straight, just to try to recoup a little value here.
I can even see myself putting D Silva on a parlay.
Oh, that gets a little dicey, but I see your point. Point well taken. Because we might get desperate here. This is the first episode ever where I'm not looking forward to the parlay assembly segment of our parlay.
The parlay segment's tough. I mean, so let's just go ahead and knock out the dogs. We just did it, obviously. Nerdembeke plus 165 sounds like our official dog, and then also Douglas D Silva de Andrade plus 110. Honorable mention dog, probably going to get a unit at least from me. As far as our props go, Almabayev by sub minus 110. We both like that. Perez by decision plus 150 seems to be a great value for the way the path to victory in that fight line out. What are some of the over-unders we were looking at? And then also we had Taira by sub. I had read it wrong earlier. Plus 125 is correct, but I'm out on that.
You talked me out of it. I wish we could get a Sergey by KO number and a Manis by KO number. I am not. Those are still well on the table, and if I'm at the betting kiosk and I like what I see there, that's fully on the table for me.
Yeah, if the Manis KO is less than minus 150, then consider it at least 1 unit bet for me, if that makes sense for anyone at home.
No, I'm basically right there with you, and we might get better than that. We'll see. But it sounds like you're out on Sergey by KO. What if Sergey by KO was plus 400? How would you feel?
Yeah, that's the only way. Yeah, of course.
Plus 300? Where's that cutoff?
No, I just think that, Vegas isn't crazy. A guy that's minus 350 and only wins by power shots against a guy that has eaten only power shots and has questionable striking defense. That's like a minus 150.
Minus 110. Yeah, you're right. All right, so I'm going to eliminate that one. No, this is good because I had a shotgun scatter here on prop bets. So Manis by KO is on the table. On-field high stand under 2.5 at plus 140 is intriguing. That sounds like a unit of my money. That sounds like a unit to me.
That's under 2.5, right?
Yeah, under 2.5 at plus 140. Granted,
I really like that one as well.
Yeah, that's on the table. Perez by decision at plus 450. I mean, at plus 450, you're getting into sprinkle territory, but don't hate it. Almabayev by sub at minus 110. See, that's interesting because that sounds like value, and that is his path to victory. But sub, when you look at it, you know how we always say by decision is cheating. By sub is the smallest. Submissions are the rarest victory in MMA. And and then getting minus money on the rarest method of victory Am I thinking too hard here? Like, have I
Yeah,
talked you out of it?
no, not at all. I mean, you're not. It's like that's great from like looking at a stat sheet. That's not great looking at who's fighting.
So that's on the table. That's on the table. No, thank you for that. And then we got Beckhoff Van over 2.5 at -25, -125. I think I would bet Almabayev by sub before I bet that if I'm going to take a minus money prop, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
All right, man. So as far as the ones we actually have the numbers for, we have Armfield high stand under 2.5 +140. Perez by decision +450. Probably not going to be our prop of the week, but sprinkle consideration there. And then Almabayev by sub -110. Are we going to Minty bets it up and give that as our prop of the week? What are we doing here?
I think the Armfield under 2.5 +140 is where we should go. It feels comfortable. It
Let's
feels likely.
go.
I'm a fan of it.
Okay, man. That's the leadership we need here on this podcast. Sprinkle of the week. I know that's not a thing, but sprinkle of the week is probably Perez by decision. If I'm feeling froggy and have an extra 5 left over after my bullish bets, I might sprinkle it. And then, like I said, the Manas by KO is the real wild card here. And then Almabayev by sub at -110. I think I would rather spend that 5 on a D Silva straight, if I'm being honest. Like,
yeah, and I'll be honest.
Sounds like a value monster.
Or I'll say this as well. If we somehow were to get a Manus by KO like +180, I'll take that over the Armfield under.
Yeah, me too. All right, we're in lockstep here. For sure, brother. Yeah, that's the real wild card. But
now
as we sit here today, Armfield high stand under 2.5 +140 is getting a unit of my money at least, maybe 2. No, I'll probably put that second unit on a sprinkle because I'm a scumbag. But this is literally the first time I've ever not been stoked. I need a new long drink. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
Go get it. I'll start this by saying that Garrett Armfield is going to be a leg of our parlay. He is the crux of everything.
He's everything. Like I might just do like a 5-unit straight bet. Like, God damn it! I'm like I'm grasping at straws here, man. I'm fucking grasping at California paper straws that melt in your drink.
I mean, I'll say that like if we're gonna take, oh my god, yeah,
I deleted 3 names from my parlay list. I had 3 names at the start of this episode that are no longer on there. At least probably a thank you. Like, so right now I'm sitting at Sergey and Armfield. All right, it's pathetic. It's Minty Bets territory. Pull up the parlay calculator. What's Sergey Armfield 2-leg? I'm gonna probably kill myself when you tell me.
I had that same thought, man, and like I just couldn't even. Okay, oh god, this just feels so good. -380, and what's the other one?
-185.
Man,
hate my life.
Plus, it's not plus.
Not plus. Yikes.
It's minus
what is
-105.
-105 but like,
no,
man,
that's absolutely not worth it when I've already talked you down to Sergey 2-star or like 3-star. Like, that cannot be worth it.
We're in a real conundrum here, dog.
Hear me out.
I mean,
hear me out.
All right, no,
hear me
out.
I
am.
Hear me out.
I'm all ears.
Keep those 2. Add Fugit plus 300.
Oh, dude, I would. I'm not even.
Add D Silva.
I'd rather add D Silva.
Okay.
Because I'm 1 star on Fugit.
Add D Silva. Add D Silva plus 310. It's the only way that's worth it.
Yeah, no, but we might be working with something here. We might be cooking with gas. And then we do the Norton Becky straight bet as dog of the week.
Yeah, that's actually, you know what? Looking at this right now, taking a -380 in Sergey, who we're not the most confident on, but clearly most of the world is, so like makes you feel a little better. You know what I mean? And then the
The Weston Wilson fade, bro. You're wording it all wrong. If you start saying Weston Wilson fade as opposed to like betting my left net on Sergey, you're gonna feel a lot better about it. Trust me.
I agree. I'm just saying for the value that we're betting, right? Like -380. I'm not betting plus 260. I wish to God I was, but I'm betting -380. So with that being said,
be a delusional piece of shit like your boy and talk yourself into it.
With that being said, though, Armfield -180, So like he's a very acceptable like of any parlay, right? So like love Armfield, twist my arm, put Sergey because it's the best value at 2 stars that I have on the board because everything else is like minus 500 or higher. Well, then in that case, like if I'm taking a 2-star minus 380, I might as well take a 2-star plus 110 as well.
All right, just an experiment here. I mean, this is probably going to be a waste of time. What does the Manus leg get you? Plus 310.
If we add Manus onto this,
the 4th leg.
Minus 500, right? Plus 390.
Seem pointless to you, or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Okay.
I'll put it this way. In the 4 leg, you increase the risk by whatever X is. However, in the 3 leg, the only risk, in my eyes, is De Silva.
Exactly. And then like little superstition mode, like we hit a 3-legger last week. 3-leggers seem to be like, if you're a fisherman, they're biting on the 3-leggers.
Like here's how I would say it is it's almost like the new kickoffs in the NFL. Like minus 500, like okay, we'll give them the ball at the 30, but like do we trust our defense or vice versa? Like can we give them at the 30? Like do we trust our defense? In my opinion, I trust our 3-leg enough to not want to add Manus, if that makes sense.
Now, scumbag question of the week. What's the Nordenbecky D Silva 2-leg? That sounds like a sprinkle to me. That sounds like a sprinkle to me.
Now we're talking my language.
Fucking talking money, brother. Talking money, Moicano, brother.
Yeah, which also, I love Show Me the Money pod because Moicano and Gilbert Burns, but that fucking guy, Matty Bets, he can't win a bet to save his goddamn life. And he's betting like 10 grand a bet. Like, that motherfucker owes a bookie somewhere. 100%.
They're breaking Matty Betts' thumbs out here.
Nordenbecky and De Silva plus 457.
Well, I know where a unit's going.
We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Scumbag Central.
So, officially...
I'm being serious, though.
So, officially, though, Armfield, De Silva, Sergey at plus... What did we say there? Plus 310?
Yeah. Only because we don't want to be minty bets and give you a minus 105 2-legger as the parlay of the week. Like, that's not what you come here for. That's not what you come here for.
Bro,
that's a cop
like
out. That's
such
a weak
piece
song.
of shit about that. Like, I would hate myself about that. And
that ain't how we roll.
And you know what that says? Minty bets, you do it for your job on TV, not for the love of the bets, and that's how we know you're a fake bitch. Anyway, dude, I swear, I take it the hardest on Minty bets, harder than anyone else in this whole show.
Oh, hey, I'm manifesting here, so just let me cook. Like, every time Minty Bets is on the TV, I say the words out loud, I'm going to take your job one day. Seriously, like, I'm not the biggest manifest guy, but every time, and it's not hating. It's coming from, like, I really do think I could do that job better. I want to manifest that for myself. I think you could do the job better. Instead of, maybe it's the Beefy Boys bets of the week. Instead of the fucking Minty Bets, like, she don't do shit. She has some fucking tits and a fucking facelift. Man, we're going to give you some real fucking value.
Yeah, it's like I almost want to go into a fucking casino in Vegas and like apply for like an odds maker job and be like we have our own rankings, like we've done this for 5 years without getting paid, like I promise I'm gonna do this job better than anyone else you've hired yet, because I just literally want to do this shit for what it is, not for the money, but obviously pay me.
Yeah, you get like a salary to like basically, so it's like a guaranteed win every week.
Yeah, so then every day I'm doing research and looking into shit, and like maybe I am diving too deep, but if I have a squad of homies to talk it over with, like I think we'll talk ourselves out of some bad shit just like we do.
Well, sounds like you might have to move out here to the great state of Nevada for that job. We've got you covered. Don't worry about it. But yeah, man. So we got parlay of the week: Sergey Armfield, D Silva plus 310. If you want to be a snoozy bastard, you could run the 2-legger. Sergey Armfield at minus 105. Dog of the week, Becky plus 165. If you 2-leg it with D Silva, you get plus 457. Sounds like a sprinkle to me.
The dog lay.
Yeah, seriously, man, that sounds like a sprinkle to me. And then Manus by KO, we like it, but we can't find the number available yet. We're sitting here on a Wednesday, so that'll be available in the coming days. But If the number is right, that gets a sprinkle. Armfield high stand under 2.5 is our official prop of the week, and that's the number we have access to at plus 140. And then another sprinkle consideration is Perez by decision at plus 450, because basically that's his path to victory. So,
also, the fact that we've mentioned that sprinkle this many times should tell you, like, if you're looking for a sprinkle this week, that's the one.
yeah, because if you think about it, Perez by decision and the dog lay, two-legger dog parlay, they're the same value. So you
Right,
get one
that's
bet
what I'm
on
saying.
Perez by decision.
And what's his likely outcome to victory?
I think it's decision. He
Me
has the
too.
five round experience. If he can avoid the subs the first couple of rounds, especially if he's stuffing those takedowns and then all right. So say that he stuffs takedowns for the first 2 rounds, right? And then so they're on the feet. It's like Perez is known for his knockout power. He's probably going to pepper him up. You know what I mean?
You know what I will say as well to that? Show me a Japanese fighter that quit. I'll wait.
Well, I just recently watched an Iwo Jima documentary, and they wasn't quitting then. I'll tell you that much.
It's not their culture. It never has been. Never
no,
will be.
no, exactly. Back to the samurai days. Shout out Yeri. Dude, I thought of. I'm sorry. I just thought of this. I at a fire bar that I was skating at Woodward Tahoe, which is a skate park that's in the middle of the Lake Tahoe forest. Absolutely gorgeous. And I was skating what's called a Euro gap, which is like a bump to a gap. You do a trick up the gap over the bump.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't want to be too corny, but I almost captioned my Instagram clip. I was like, hitting a Euro in the woods, call me Yuri Prohaska, bro. Fucking
Oh my god, that would have been nice. You could have done that. That would have been nice.
Bar!
That would have been
Fucking
nice.
bar. But man, that's our bets of the week. So I got a little off the rails there. Just wanted to drop that fire bar on y'all real quick. But yeah, man, weird card to bet. We're gonna pick and choose our spots here. But I do like Nordin Becky as a plus 165 dog. It's a weird to say that like your dog of the week is like your most like bullish pick of the week, but like that's what we agreed on the most probably. An Armfield, of course. I might do an Armfield straight bet, to be honest, like a 2-unit Armfield straight.
It feels like Armfield
sounds like the
could be
week
worth
for us. We both agreed. We both had him 4 stars. It's the only number that's not like outlandish. Sounds like I don't know. Armfield straight's on the table, which is saying a lot for us at minus 185. Well, that's not usually how we roll, but. Desperate times come for desperate measures.
Yeah, it just sucks to think like betting 15 wins you like $8.50. Like that hurts.
Don't love it. But that's why we gave you our 3-legger with Armfield on it. But yeah, man, I am looking forward to watching this card though. I'll be real. Like for an Apex card, not bad. I think the Nordin Becky fight's going to be entertaining. I think the Sergey Wilson fight ends in a finish. His flick probably ends in a finish. Ulanbekov Van is a banger. I'm not going to say it's a banger, but D. Silva Johns is a banger. Almeida Kwamba might be like a can banger, maybe. Potentially, we can only hope. Alaskarov, god damn it, if that's not a first-round finish, we fucked up here. And then Perez Taira, like, legitimately looking forward to just watching that one with no money on it, unless I hit a Perez by decision sprinkle, which is on the table.
I think we could see a finish-heavy card here this week, which people at home should be excited for. It's not a high name value card. It's not a highly publicized card. They're putting everything they have, in fact, into Khamzat next week and Conor McGregor, hopefully, maybe not, the week after.
Quick look ahead. I do believe Robert Whittaker's like plus 200 right now, and I don't know, man. I'm feeling fraud checky. I don't know. It sounds kind of nice.
Is it? It's 5 rounds, isn't it?
Sure as fuck is.
Ooh, Whittaker by decision feels so good.
Oh, you just scumbag it out. The plus 200's not enough for you. You want that plus 5?
Yeah, I do. I do.
But hey, right? Like Whittaker seems like a live as fuck dog. I mean, look ahead. But
I don't think he's beating Khamzat in the first 10 minutes, and I think Khamzat's tough enough to survive the last 12.
Well, and this is caveman math, bro. But I can't. I'm fucking sue me. This is who he's been match made against. Gilbert Burns gave him all he could fucking handle, a former 55er.
So did
The
fucking Usman.
10 days notice, 10 days notice Usman, or it was a short notice fight. Usman, first fight at 85, obviously,
And he lost the third round.
Saying, bro, so you're gonna give him like ultimate professional middleweight. Like when I close my eyes and you ask me to think of like a professional veteran middleweight, Robert Whittaker is like what comes to mind.
Also, probably the
Like
most well-rounded.
5-round experience.
He's the most well-rounded middleweight that exists.
Exactly. Like hard to take down.
Hard to strike against if you're not like an elite striker.
Just outstruck Paulo Costa, which I don't know how many people out there are saying that Hamzat's a better striker than Paulo Costa.
I mean,
obviously,
who are the guys Whittaker hasn't outstruck? Duplessis and Adesanya? It's a pretty fucking short list.
Fucking sue him, right?
Right. It's not. I mean? Yeah, like honestly, this is a case of like I think hardcores are going to bet Whittaker, and the general public is going to pour money on Hamzat, and that's where this line comes from. I think Vegas would genuinely have this as like a plus 120 Robert Whittaker, but they know they need their money.
I haven't seen Hamzat beat like what you think he's going to do Robert Whittaker like he did Li Changliang?
Also, Whittaker, not a small middleweight.
Yeah, I mean he's not the biggest,
but Usman is a welterweight. Burns was able to make lightweight at a point in his career. Yeah, like he's not fought a guy like there's not a day in Robert Whittaker's life he'd ever make middle or welterweight. Is my point. Like these are true middleweight.
Robert Whittaker used to be a welterweight, like back in the tough days.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot, but he was terrible there.
I'm gonna make a different point. This is MMA math to the fucking gills, but like if Robert Whittaker fought Gilbert Burns, he would beat the dog shit out of him. Open weight, I don't even like. Well, I know it's a hypothetical, but like Robert Whittaker would dog walk Gilbert Burns.
Well, about it. To that point, like at 170, he was not good, and at 185, he was a world champion. So it's like he clearly like could make 170, I guess, like physically, but like was not the fighter he is at max potential. So yeah, middleweight, like you get the best Robert Whittaker you're possibly going to fight, and I just don't know that Hamzat handles that well.
Also, and it sounds weird because Robert Whittaker's not the most active fighter, but like more active than Hamzat, right?
Yeah, way more active. And like the only thing going for Hamzat is that he has to fly 2 hours to the location to fight, and the time difference is like 1 hour.
Yeah, but that's Robert Whittaker's whole career, right? Outside, and the one fight he was in Australia, he got knocked out.
And guess what? It's not the longest fight for Whittaker. Australia to Abu Dhabi ain't that far.
A lot closer than Vegas, I'll tell you that much, man. But yeah, fun episode. We got, I don't even want to say off the rails, but a little quick peek ahead. It's like a Marvel movie. If you've stayed this long, you deserved a little, little something for the hardcores that finish out the episode. But yeah, appreciate y'all watching. Let's get this money. We back in the green. We're in the green on the year, and we're taking the road less traveled here on our picks. But I think it's going to pay off for us. Feel good about it.
Yeah, hard week to find value. Slightly conservative approach, but I think we might have hit some nails on the head this week.
Let's go. Like and subscribe, baby.